Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our last day of Alpha X Ultimate Showdown. We're getting at the ready for the last few things we need in order to just have everything in smooth sailing after a little bit of a rough start. So thank you everybody for joining us here today to watch our last few series of this tournament. So I'm hereby joined by my loyal co-caster, Black One.
How's it going?
And we're gonna head on straight into our first map as soon as we're done through Veto phase and everything else. So then again, for those of you who don't know yet, we're gonna have 4 amazing players in this last phase of the tournament, in these playoffs. It's going to be our first best of 5 semifinals, Zest versus Dream. And then we have, and boy, I'm so excited about it, a wonderful ZVZ in Impact versus Armani. Of course, both series are gonna be best of 5, heading into the finals, which are instead going to be, of course, best of 7. And now that we're going through beta phase, of course, as I was saying, we're gonna start with Zest versus Dream. I'm sorry we had to start the stream a little bit on the late side. We weren't super prepared for some mild technical issues that we luckily solved. You know, I have to say, we were pretty fast to solve it, weren't we?
Yeah, I agree. Like, the last time around we had issues, it took us for half an hour.
Yeah.
We missed Dark against Dynamite, right?
Yeah, that still hurts. Like, that is not a fond memory of mine, so let's all forget about the little inconvenient. And so, I sadly do not speak Korean, and my friend Black One here is admitting the tournament. And okay, I was going to ask what is going to be the first map of the series, and then he proceeded to link the lobby in our chat. It's going to be Everdream. I have to say, I'm not super surprised about this.
I'm not too surprised about it either.
Yeah, it's one of the maps I'd say all of the players cherish the most, and I feel like it's one of the best maps of the old pool. I really have nothing but fond memories of this map. I really think it's a great map. So I'm happy we're gonna start it off right here on Everdream. So let's go get it. The players are ready. We are ready. I want my game 1 and I want it so badly. Zest versus Dream. It's gonna start just in a second. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Oh boy, it's going to be a wonderful day of StarCraft, isn't it?
It will most definitely be. We will be looking at Everdream as our first map. Second map will be Submarine. Third in the row is Eternal Empire. Fourth, Pillars of Gold. And the last one will be Ice and Chrome.
Nice. So, I hope I'm going to see Ice and Chrome, because yeah, that map, we talked a lot about it last time, but the map is pretty damn crazy. But let's get into introductions. Here, spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the blue Protoss player, Serral invented one of the most obnoxious builds ever made in StarCraft 2, and is one hell of a player. Let's give it a warm welcome. This is Zest.
And spawning in the top right corner, the Red Terran representing Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
We were talking about Dream, Terran versus Protoss last time, and I have to say, in both his series versus Zaun, even though he lost the first one, he was looking so good in this matchup.
Yeah, and it looks to me like he's going to be advancing with the same build order he showed us against Zaun.
Oh, you mean the starport before command center, that one?
Yeah, exactly that one.
Yeah, I still have my my fair share of doubts about that build, but it looks like your prediction was correct. We see a factory just being started, Marine first, and then another Marine, no Reaper.
Oh, I'm curious if Zest is looking for proxy of Dream or if he's looking to proxy himself. Because the last time he played Everdream against a high-class Terran, high-tier Terran, must have been the match against Innovation.
Yeah.
And he went for Proxy Dark Shrine on that map.
Yeah, that he did. So, it could be. Like, both players are very careful about possible proxies right now. Both of them sending a fair share of their own units through the map to check every nook and cranny, looking for some hidden buildings or anything to the likes of it. None will be fine. So 3 Marines are headed through the map. I'm surprised. So we got one thing wrong. It was going to be just the command center after the factory, which is looking very much more standard. But 3 Marines and a Hellion walking through the map, this is weird.
Yeah, it most definitely is, but I don't think Zest should eat too much damage. I feel like with his two stalkers, he should most definitely be safe against any kind of pressure that Dream is putting on in the early stages of the game with those 3 Marines and the Hellion. But Dream is not really looking to do any damage. He's just trying to keep Zest honest right now.
There's gonna be maybe a couple Widow Mines just getting right into the mineral lines. A little bit of a classic. So no Hellion drop, no fancy aggro, just a little bit of scouting with some, maybe, hopefully for Dream, collateral damage. So we see a Robo out of Zest. I go as far to say a little bit on the late side. I'm surprised we didn't see a Twilight Council first and foremost. Right. And
this is like the classic for PvT. You go for the Twilight Council and then you get the Robo.
Yeah.
But Zest in this game just decided to go for a Robo and completely skip the Twilight Council. I'm curious why he did it. He's also adding 2 additional gases, so I'm expecting something like Colossi. Drop going into the mineral lines now. The pull is a little bit late.
That was
and he
really
gets
late.
6 drops.
Oh, that's
in the main base there's 1 as well, getting 5 additional probe kills.
Ooh. That hurts. And no blink to catch this Medivac whatsoever. This Medivac is just gonna fly away with all 3 Widow Mines intact, ready to fly in any moment's notice. That's starting up a third Nexus to just keep on making probes, replace the ones he lost. Like in this matchup, losing these many workers this early in the game, it's going to be very hard for him to come back. That's a lot of damage. It's hard to stress how much damage.
It most definitely is, but don't underestimate the new shield battery and the chrono boost itself.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
that's true.
I have the feeling Zest is just going to chrono boost probes right now to get back into this game when it comes to his economy. We might see some later upgrades. Colossi might be a slightly bit later as well, but we'll see.
But what do you do as Dream right here? Like, your opponent has not gone for Blink, meaning that you can go very greedy, and you dealt a lot of damage. And now Zest is cutting corners, is getting a very early extended thermal lance without having a lot of army to support it. While Dream's army is growing pretty fast. He has the 3 Raxes, Steam and Combat Shields just started. He's adding up Marauders, he already has 1 Raven, a 3rd command center. He looks very well prepared for his next push.
Okay, so I think Dream is going to hit a sweet 1-1 timing with Stim, Combat Shield, and with those 2 tanks and the Raven, even the Colossi won't do too much. because the Raven will just disable one and the other one will immediately fall to the siege tank fire. So a really good position Dream has put himself in right here, and Zest will have to keep the damage output of Dream as low as possible.
It's not gonna be an easy task. Not at all. We see a Twilight Council finally being added by Zest. Most likely for Blink. Like, you cannot skip the upgrade in this matchup. Like, sooner or later you're gonna need it. And it looks like Zest is of the opinion that later is better than never.
I also think he might add a Dark Shrine very soon. I've seen him do this against Innovation, where he was on a 3 base economy and decided to add a Dark Shrine before even taking the 4th base, because usually what the meta is right now, to be safe against drops and also to put some pressure on the Terran economy, you go for the Dark Shrine together with your 4th base. But Zest lately has been mixing this up. He has been going for a lot of Dark Shrine plays, and well, his success gives him the right to do so, right?
Okay, finally, Zest gets a pretty good glimpse of the army of Dream. And Dream is now advancing with this medivac. He could get a little bit more damage. Blink is still far away from being done. And Dream is already walking through the map. +1/+1 is done. Goes to Economy, the follow-up after the push. 4th command center, and Vikings joining the battle to face those Colossi. It looks like Dream has every piece of the puzzle is the right spot.
Those Widow Mines. Oh, the next shot will sit as well.
And the
7 additional probes get killed.
Away unscathed again. Just look at the resource lost up. It just through the roof.
Oh man, you can see it in the workers as well. Zest is at 63 workers, which in itself is a good worker count for the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, and like Dream doesn't even feel like he needs to push right now. Like, it looks like he's going to just chill for the time being. He's gonna probably have everything a little bit earlier. Now, Zest adding up Archons to bulk up his army. But I don't know. I trust Zest's skills to actually put up one good fight. But it's not gonna be easy because he's slightly behind on basically everything.
The problem with Dream in this situation is Dream is somebody who likes to go for those all over the map harassments, right? So he really likes to put on the pressure onto you, and Zest is not in a position where he could deal with all the pressure.
Catching the medivac with the Widow Mines, it was a nice catch.
Now, that being said, going for that super aggressive style that Dream usually likes to opt for can be a good way for Zest to come back, but those Stalkers may not see the comeback because they will just get shut down by Marines and Marauders.
Zest's supply is getting dangerously close to the one of Dream. Getting one medivac over here, also not a very nice catch. Actually having more army supply than his opponent. Most of it is Archons.
Okay,
and
but
as you may know, Archons are very good unit, but there are 2 ghosts. So it's gonna be a 4 ghosts actually. It's gonna be a very micro base engagement.
Okay, I imagine we'll see. Yeah, there's the.
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Missile.
Beautiful anti-armor missile. Dream trying to push forward while Zest buying some time. Trying to force the commitment into a bad position, but Dream, gosh. That was a thing of beauty. Another one with a very good EMP. Those Stalkers are just going to melt. Even engagement begins. And here it comes. Another beautiful EMP by Dream. The fight can start. Those Archons are just gonna be meat fodder after those EMPs hit him.
I like the position a little bit more when Dream was between Zest spaces, because he could just split off 4 or 5 Marines into the mineral line of the third base. Now he's pushing into this army, and Zest has a beautiful concave right here. Those
Colossus for free as well. Another beautiful EMP. Those Colossi are just melting to Vikings right now, but so is the army of Dream. Not enough medivacs. Those Immortals are just not dying, and just brute force out of Zest carries the engagement. Interesting.
Ghosts walk faster than unstimped Marines.
Yeah, by a pretty fair margin as well.
I just realized that they can keep up with stimped units, and I was like, holy fuck, that
Right.
ghost training must have paid out really well.
They're supposed to just lag a little bit behind, so that when the Steel Marines hit, they are just right behind them. So he strikes a fair balance. Good EMP here, not gonna do much. 4 more Archons in production for Zest. So,
And we see Dream already going for this super aggressive style. He split off parts of his army, and he's most likely aiming to at least hit Zest a little bit. He's
Yeah.
going for those jabs, jab, jab, jab all the time, and at one point your opponent's eyes are so swollen that you can just hit him wherever you want.
I get a couple sensor towers to gain a little bit more map control, and if this drags a little bit further, it could get into nuke.
Oh, big run by at the 5th base of Zest. That one will most likely be cancelled. Meanwhile, Zest is trying to push Dream towards Dream's own base. And I'm not sure if Dream can actually hold his bases if Zest decides to engage right here.
2 Archons traded for 2 Ghosts in this stage. Dreams is not in a very good position. There are a lot of Archons which are going to tank a lot of their planetary. Many SCVs are going to die. Liberators without range are trying their best, but they won't survive long enough. The army of Dream is crumbling, but on the other side, the base of Zest is doing so as well. Dream badly needs to retreat right now. I don't think he can win this base trade. Zest destroying whatever is left here, as well as Dream, to be honest, but don't get fooled by supply. The army of Zest is very much capable of dealing with the strike force Dream has sent through the map.
Do we have a dark shrine on the map? Okay, we do not. This means that whenever Dream wants to, he can just continue fighting, because there's no invisible unit that could possibly do him harm.
And not having range of these Liberators is going to be... Actually, it's going to be a little bit less of a problem than I thought. I think Zest lost. And he closed the GG. Man, that was weird.
Zest just trying to brute force his way up that choke with 2 Liberators, a bunch of Marines and Marauders, and 2 Ghosts. That was not the play he was looking for.
I mean, just retreating on top of the ramp, and it felt like the last 5 seconds, it felt so hopeless for Zest. And I wasn't really thinking about it, but the Terrana army could just stay there, get some reinforcements, and then just straight up bulk up on the ramp and cause a ruckus. So Dream gets game 1. And I have to say, I think it's a very deserved victory right here, right?
Most
Wasn't
definitely. Those Widow Mine drops paid off so well and put him in a great position. His army movement was amazing as well, splitting up the armies. Just very good play, right?
Yeah, he played a beautiful game. That's very little else to say. He just played a very good game. Like, it's not easy to kind of outsmart or put Zest like back to the corner, right? It's not the kind of player that you ever put with his back to the corner.
Oh no.
Like, he always finds a way out. When you think you got him, he just got you more. And that's the kind of player he is. But I have also to say this: when Zest loses, he loses hard. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes Zest unique. Either he completely stomps you because his timing is so crisp, or he just he just loses super hard.
Yeah, there is no in between with this guy. But I mean, isn't this like the most flavorful thing about him?
It most definitely is. Let's get into the game, spawning as the Red Terran on the left top side of Submarine, representing Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
What a victory he had. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about what is happening. But meanwhile, spawning in the bottom right hand corner as the Blue Protoss player instead. On a hell of a player, as I was saying before. He found himself to the back to the corner, and I hope for him that he doesn't find himself in that spot ever again, because this is Zest. And Zest doesn't just lose this series like it's nothing.
Oh, Dream already going for that cheeky play.
And
he
I actually
is there
love
with
this. Like, this Reaper Cliff is huge.
Right? I think I watched a video by Harstem or by Showtime. And they were like, okay, you need 3 big buildings to block this.
Yeah.
And Zest now realizing it feels like, because that wall is not complete yet.
And Dream just checking the wall with his SCV. I love how he did his homework so well. Also, let's not forget there is actually, I'm not super sure. Okay, no, this is not another Reaper Cliff. But you can jump into the main from the natural. So the Reapers eventually have an escape route as well. Yeah, here they come, just effortlessly getting on top of the main base of Zest. And at least a couple prods will go down before that Stalker is ready. First one is gonna fall. Prods put into the fight. The SCV as well, getting into action. So a lot is Reaper.
Oh, 2 probes have fallen already, and make sure not to lose a third one, Zest, because that damage will add up, especially in the early parts of the game.
And let's all remember that, like, Dream is not forfeiting anything to get this build going. Back home he has his factory, he has his good production, he's a good economy, he has a command center just started. And like Zest forcing a chrono boost, a little bit at the early stage, no adapt. So just
four probes killed already.
It's gonna be 5, my friend.
No,
at a cost
Zest,
of 1 Reaper and an SCV.
Zest falling apart a little in this game. Stargate will be his
I like the Stargate a lot.
choice.
I really like the choice of getting Stargate right here, because your opponent is going to be forced into Cyclone in any scenario. Dream is going to get a Cyclone out. And if Zest, I'm not too sure if he decides to go for double Oracle or Phoenixes, but in both scenarios he has a way to actually get around this while being pretty much unassailable for a little while.
Okay, so one thing special about this map, you can't jump into the natural from the third base. And I'm not sure if Dream knows that, but if he knows, he could get one more scout off and potentially even kill some more probes.
It's going to be an Oracle first, but I want to talk a little bit about what Dream is doing, because this is very greedy. He's getting a Banshee out for harassment damage while getting a Fur Command Center just right after he started his Orbital Command in the natural. This is very greedy, because he's not gonna have basically any army back home for a lot of time. He has a Cyclone and a tank. That's all. And it's not gonna help that much against a good Stargate play. The Oracle gets seen by the Reaper, which goes down for it. The second we get a lock on, the Oracle will probably just fly. Wait, what? He cancelled the lock on going.
You can abuse the high ground to cancel that lock on.
Of course.
You know what the smartest thing with the high ground was that I've ever seen? I once watched Harstem's stream and he placed his warp prism up there, in a PvP and the opponent had no high ground vision, so he could just warp in and juggle without ever being punished for it. The oracles will now go into the base and he loses one directly.
Without getting a single pro, the Banshee is through. Link he has not even started because the Total Council has not even started. There is a Void Ray in the making. A bunch of probes are already falling. The Banshee will fall as well, by the way, which is never that much of a good thing, but just checking, his units lost up is a little bit crazy right here. 10 probes in 5 minutes? Dream, you maniac.
So I'm not sure if Zest actually wanted to go for that robo, because he just saw the Banshee. He does not have an observer right now. Maybe he was afraid of getting even more Banshee harassment in the later stages of the game, combined with some cloak, and that would have most definitely killed him without that
Oracle,
rope.
by the way, barely survived a Viking and a Widowmine. The army of Zest is kind of good, so is his production. He got away with an early third Nexus. That was a good play. But as you were saying, he's trying to do a little bit of everything at once. Oh, Widowmine. Oh my god. Yeah, Viking is just
Bye Void Ray.
Yeah.
Oh,
he doesn't
decides
commit,
not
of
to.
course. Like, it would have been too risky. But it means that this Void Ray cannot get damage, and so does the Oracle. But the same thing, a good revelation. Oh. Post one.
Okay, he scans the tech. He already knows that there is.
Zest adding up a Templar Archives as well. He's getting charged, he's getting +1 ground weapons, he has everything, he has a good economy. I'm always surprised about how Zest looks behind for the first 6 minutes and then he just drops all of his stuff at once and is suddenly almost
Back
equal.
in the game.
But yeah, the Army of Dream is nothing to frown upon. And we've also seen his control.
Okay, so Zest is adding a lot of gateways.
Yeah,
He just added
+2.
6 more gateways in addition to his 3. Am I right about this? Yeah, he will be at 9 gateways. +2 is on the way. Charge is done. He did not start Storm, so I feel like we are looking at an all-in by Zest, who is trying to hit with a lot of Archons and Charge Alerts.
Do you feel like he's compelled to do this? Because I hardly find it necessary right now.
Okay, Storm is starting. Okay.
Yeah, stop to start it.
He was just a little late on that one, but
How many gateways
we'll
does he have?
forgive him.
Yeah, 10 gateways. It is pretty standard amount actually. I felt like he was having a little bit more, but he was actually having a little bit less than we thought so when he had that third base up, which I guess is the kind of corner that he had to cut. But now he has one Warp Prism through the map. It's going to be Storm Drops, and Storm Drops can deal a fair amount of damage.
I want to take a small second, split second, to appreciate the vision Zest has built around Dream Space. There are observers everywhere. Every big push path, there's an observer. There's nothing that will catch him by surprise. And now he's even going for High Templar drops.
And he
Those
has a
Storm
Dark Shrine
drops,
behind us.
man. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
his
but,
signature building.
Wait, 4 Stalkers and 4 Zealots as well at the Warp Prism? Well, that didn't make any sense. He did them just because his vision was over there. Like,
Okay, Zest, surprise me. What are you going to do next? Because as of right now, you are a riddle to me.
yeah, 6 more gateways as soon as he drops the 4th. Makes sense. It's just gonna have a lot of production right now. Wait, why? Okay, he wants to engage and have his Warp Prism High Templars behind so they do not get EMP'd. That's...
But I don't think he can engage down this ramp. It's so choked up that all his Archons and everything else is just going to clump, and those EMPs are going to shred the shields.
Yeah, but I think it's just going... He was just trying to bait him and then storm his army once the bait was through. But right now, okay, Dream is returning back home to defend his planetary that is soon to be made. And that can be a beautiful moment to storm. That could be like the best storms we've ever seen right here. Okay, Zest is retreating, he found a lot of damage. The army of Dream is
do you get the EMPs out? He EMPs one of his own ghosts.
Yeah.
Didn't EMP the Warp Prism yet.
The Warp Prism is under fire by the Vikings too. High Templars actually lost. Good EMP is gonna deny those storms. Dream's army is melting the one of Zest right now. Perfect control. These ghosts still have some life in them, and they are sure gonna use it. Zest going back home to lick his wounds. But those
in
wounds
one moment to another, Zest didn't have any storms anymore because his Warp Prism just got focused down so fast, and then Dream just pounced on him. He hit the EMPs he needed to hit, and that was a really convincing fight by Dream, and GG is called.
And once again, like, this game was incredibly convincing by Dream. Like, I really struggled to not think he actually deserved this by far. Like, from the beginning to the end of this game, he was looking so much in control. We were just like getting a little bit more into Zest's space to see how he would react, what he would do, and all the weird stuff he was trying to build up. But then again, you know, this matchup is all about microcontrol in the mid game, and Dream is just having the better one this far. So.
Let's see how Zest will do in the next match. It is on Eternal Empire, and I've seen some really convincing games by him on this map. We've also seen Dream.
Yeah, but like Eternal Empire, like it is the Terra map, like D with the capital T. Like, this is the Terra map. Like, never has existed a better Terra map than this, I think.
Oh, you are discarding Purity and Industry as the best Terran map there was ever.
Yeah, I mean, the other two that comes into my mind are probably Steps of War and to some extent Dreamcatcher. To some extent, because it's a very reserved map, but like it had those crazy tank spots in which you couldn't do anything but watch your army die. So yeah, also Dreamcatcher.
Okay, let's see how this map is going to pan out, because the last time I've seen Dream play Eternal Empire was against Patience, and I remember the two of us casted that one.
Yeah.
And he was trying out the Battle Mag style on this map, which, well, it didn't quite work out the way he wanted it to.
Wait, the game is lagging a little bit. Weird. But anyway, let's get into introductions. Spawning into the top right hand corner. Wait, don't tell me it's me. Don't tell me it's me.
Game paused.
Can you check?
It's me. Yeah, it's me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, I can check for you. Okay, it's fine now. It's fine now. Yeah, it's fine now. You can start. Easy can.
Game resumed.
Okay. Spawning in the top right hand corner as the blue Terran. Currently 1 victory away from achieving the finals of Alpha X Ultimate Showdown, it is Dream.
And spawning as the Pink Protoss player on Eternal Empire, the one who has to get back into the series, is currently down 2-0, so give it up for Zest.
Well, Dream doesn't play games, does he?
No. Whenever he plays, he makes sure he doesn't have any risks involved.
Ooh,
so you just
that
go for the
is
proxy
rough.
Rex?
What is going to happen here?
Oh, I think I know what this is. You go for Marauders with the barracks on the bottom side of the map, and Marines with the one in the main, and then you try to push with concussive shell. But if Zest has a read on this, and he should have a read on this, I feel like. He will most definitely put down a shield battery at his natural and be fine. He will just be perfectly fine. All he needs to do is do one quick scout. One quick scout. By the way,
didn't Dream do the same build against Zaun and won like incredibly hard?
you mean in the series that I missed because I overslept?
Yeah, probably that one actually, because I have a pretty fond memory about Dream doing this same build and destroying Zaun. It was probably game 1 of the first series as well, because Zaun then won the other 2.
Oh, and we have the battery overcharge right now, so
Yeah.
that stalker is just not going to die.
Oh
no! No!
The
Yes!
chrono boost.
No!
It was
Does he
so
still have
close.
energy in the main
No,
base?
he doesn't.
Oh my god!
43. He's gonna have it in a little while, but it needs to be in range so he can not cast it on that one.
Okay,
sheet.
so his shield bat. Okay, Dream, you're just going to focus fire the shield battery. Another shield battery will be started immediately. 4 SCVs have been pulled up. Shield battery overcharge is doing it.
So he had the energy in the main axis to use it on this one apparently, so I was wrong. But right now this shield battery overcharge is doing a lot. Shield battery is down, those SCVs are still up and fighting. A lot of Marauders have gone down, but it looks like Dream's push will be deflected and we'll have the first victory of Zest in this series.
Who's Demour? I only know Zest.
I only know shield overcharge, so
Oh my
I'm gonna
god!
check
Imagine.
my ping right now just to show you guys that this doesn't make any sense. Like, I know it sounds high to have 300, but I usually have around 450 ping on Korea, and it works just fine. So it doesn't make any sense. If you can tell something to the player, then I'm sorry if this will happen again, but it's just going to be a couple spikes like every 5 games or so, like 3 or 4 games. I remember. I'm Italian, so come on.
Okay.
Lower your volume a
Let's
tiny bit.
open up the next map, and it will be Pillars of Gold.
Okay, this is not a very interesting map.
You don't like Pillars of Gold?
We talked about this. I'm a Zerg player. I love this map because I'm a Zerg player. But in this matchup yesterday, we've seen that it's a little bit crazy. Like, it's all kinds of punishing. It's not a map you can make mistakes on. And if there are 2 players that are very good at just exploiting the heck out of your mistakes, those 2 players are Zest and Dream. Especially
I
the
agree.
former. What is Dream saying?
Are you going to use your skill?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have to say that I like this map aesthetics a lot. Let's be honest, I love this map, but for the wrong reasons. Most of all, nostalgia. Do you remember?
And I don't blame you, because nostalgia is the thing that keeps us going in StarCraft.
Yeah, like
Right.
that one map pool will be forever in my heart. I have to be honest. Cerulean Fall, Paris Junction, Port Alexander. That was a great map pool. Automaton. Yeah,
Okay.
I have fun memories of it. Not of Automaton, but of all the others. Well, also of Automaton, I had a very high win rate on that map for some reasons. It was an awful Zerg map, but, you know, reasons.
Okay, so Dream was complaining a little bit about the new shield battery,
Oh,
and
of
Zest was
course.
like, if you would have just killed it right there when you were focusing it, it would have been completely useless. I would have not had any overcharge, and we could have just won. You could have just won.
I kind of agree, by the way. But
Well-
let's get into one more game. We're on Pillars of Gold, one of the newer maps. And we're on the top right hand corner, looking at the base of the red Terran player, representing Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream.
And in the bottom left corner, his challenger, spawning as the blue Protoss player. He's currently down 2-1. This is the match point. It is Zest.
Okay, no weird shenanigans out of Dream. We've seen again his double refinery opening that gets into a very fast factory and maybe a faster starport. But we're still like failing to grasp the real meaning of this. Aside from getting an early Viking, which can make a difference, but meh.
And like the weird thing is, like usually you would say, okay, you get a really quick factory, so you can defend against any kind of pressure the Protoss player puts onto you, right? But we've seen Zaun win with a 4-gate blink
Yeah.
against this build.
Oh.
So
Hope survives.
I would have loved for Zest to just turn around, hit that
Probe doesn't
SCV.
survive.
In that case, you would have just gone at least had the 1-1 trade, right?
Yeah, like, let's all be honest, it doesn't matter at all.
Okay, so let's see.
I like
Dream
the Adept's
is-
first year. I think it's a better choice for scouting since this map is pretty damn big. To keep it at that. Like, it's a long map.
Oh, it's the Robo once again.
Yeah, I'm not completely focused on the Robo right now because this is a proxy starport, by the way.
Zest is pulling out some weird bits and Dream is just countering with even weirder bits.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what kind of weird stuff you're gonna do, but I'm just gonna jazz it.
Okay, so Zest definitely sees there's no natural. He must know there is some
Yeah, that's a big
aggressive
tell.
play by Dream.
Good by that. That's a very big tell, I agree. Like, very big one. Dream
And now
drops his
I've-
command center immediately after it, by the way.
I think he saw the SCV, so he might expect it. But if
Could be.
I was Zest, I would immediately start scouting around the map, because you never know when those Terrans are just going to pull out a proxy. And lately we have seen a comeback of the proxy meta with the 1-1-1, where you proxy the starport and the factory, and you just get Marines, tanks, and the Liberator, and from there on it's siege time.
And that's why I really dislike going for a Robo first on big maps, by the way. It's just like your observer is just gonna go straight through the map into your opponent's base to get some scouting. And then you have a second one, which is going to be late, as exactly as this one was. It's going to be late. And now the aliens will get damage. They are just bound
Let's see how much damage they will get. 4 probes have already fallen. 6 and 2. Okay, 2 Hellions will make it out. Now there is a Liberator on the way, and the follow-up attack will include tanks, I'm expecting.
Like, Dream needs to do something in the natural because he has no information about the tech of his opponent. So he's probably just gonna suck. Oh, actually, he does see the robotics facility. He doesn't know it's a Robo Bay. But probably the Liberator will confirm that while the starport flies back home. Those Stalkers are trying to find it. Of course, they won't find it.
Oh,
Dream
it's so
very
unlucky
quick on his
because
answer.
that's where it was.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, Zest knew it was there, so he's now trying to find it flying back home. Won't actually see it. And, oh, yeah, goodbye, Liberator.
Die! Liberate this!
Oh, I have to say, like, I don't know if you ever followed the Warcraft 3 scene, but there is this one player who's sadly famous to be the guy who loses his Blade Master, the hero, every time, and Dream is the player who loses his Liberator every single time.
Well, that was most definitely a good move for Zest.
Okay, I
Like, you
activated
lost-
the production tab in the bottom right by mistake, but I kind of like it. It's the GSL style, well, not the GSL, the WCS style of
How do you
of
do that?
Katowice. I have no clue how I did that, but it was like this in Katowice. So, yeah.
Okay, so I like the pickup of the Liberator for Zest because he did already take 6 probes damage. Right? It was 7 probes. 6. 1 died in the.
Meanwhile, Hellions still trying to get some damage. At least Dream will get some scouting, which is still something.
Yeah. Yet I don't like Dream's position too much. His stim is not finished yet. His third base will be flown out, but his medivac production is super delayed because he went for the proxy starport, because he went for the Liberator as a follow-up, and that way he is delaying his pushes by a lot.
Yeah, Hellions in the main of Zest will get a little bit more damage. A couple probes will fall down, but then
my God.
actually 4. Wait, that is not even that bad. And getting more scouting information, forcing more stalkers, it's always nice, right?
Those last probes should not have died. That was really
Definitely
good micro by Dream. And a little bit sloppy by Zest, if we are being honest.
Yeah, it's been also a pretty unlucky game by Zest. I really don't think it was the most fortunate of episodes. Like, not getting the starport, as you were saying, and now Dream will just have a little bit of an upper edge into these engagements.
But I like what Dream is doing right here. He's pushing at the front, and there is a drop in the main base. Oh, was it cleaned up like immediately?
I think it was cleaned up. I seen Dream's like supply. Yeah, it was cleaned up.
Ah, that's super unlucky for Dream. I liked
Yeah.
what he was going for there with the Widow Mine drop in the main, the push at the front. But Zest already anticipating the drop and having his stalkers in position was able to deflect it pretty easily.
Yeah, Zest finally finds himself in a very comfortable spot, I'd say, and getting a pylon a little bit forward next to the 4th base, looking plans to do expanding. He doesn't really need to rush tech. He's getting +2, he's getting charge, he's getting mortals, more gateways, he's getting everything he needs to advance to the later stages, while Dream has to rebuild a lot of what he lost. And now he's trying to put some more pressure on Zest's shoulders. And he has the army to do that, but yeah, not going to be easy.
Yesterday on my stream, I was talking about how stupid units move around the map. I was like, SCVs are by far the most stupid unit when it comes to unit movement.
Yeah.
But I have to take that back. Tanks might be even worse.
Falls down. Yeah, don't forget about Goliaths. But by the way, those Blink Sulkers get some very good trades, but in the end the Colossus falling wasn't the best thing that could happen to Zest. Now his army is split in two, looking for a good opportunity to collapse. But Zest is just not committing. He knows there is not much to lose here and very little to gain from a big fight. So he just keeps his units where he needs them. Will just split into his army. Okay, this engagement could go very badly for Zest if he delves a little bit too forward. Let's not forget that upgrades are one ahead for Dream for the time being.
+2 just finished for Zest. The Widow Mines will not be spotted because the armory is on the field, so the new patch already taking effect here. Also, I want to point out that Zest once again went for that Dark Shrine, which will help him so much in the later stages of the game, because there is so much run by potential on those maps. He's just going to have a field day.
Yeah, it goes down. So 12 probes have fallen.
Where's that Coloss going?
Yeah, he's trying to find...
Walks.
Yeah, poor guy. But by the way, both players getting a ton of damage. Like, goodbye, Dark Templars. Another 7 probes? Where did they... Okay, so there's one Widowmine also in the natural. Widowmines everywhere. Like, so many... Yeah, he's recalling an observer right now. Yeah, so many probes have fallen in the last couple minutes. Like, a little bit too many, I'd say. Like,
yeah, Zest is down to 49 workers and he needs to do damage with this DT run by.
Well, he
gets
damage.
Planetary, and man, Planetaries are not that cheap.
Man, Shadow Strike is just a good upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. And I feel like Zest really embraces that fact, because he gets it every game.
Yeah, I think with good reasons, but the Army of Dream is still a little bit too scary. Without Disruptors, these Vikings can rain hell on top of these Colossi and just be happy with that damage. There's not going to be any more AoE. But Zest has a bunch of Dark Templars, and those can deal a lot of damage in a fight.
So, I've been practicing TVP a lot lately, right? And friends of me were saying, just put some... Oh my god. Oh my god. Stride away!
It is just a good upgrade. Like, there is not much you could say about it.
No.
How is he still killing probes?
Where did he... Was it the miss rally?
No, it was like this Widowmine over here catching the probes that are trying to retake the 4th base. And
5 probes!
Another 5,
okay,
yeah, one in the 3rd base. One in the 3rd base.
Oh my god.
And there are, okay, how many Dark Templars is this? It's too many for me to count.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. He just blinks on top of everything.
Yeah,
and
because
takes
why
out.
not? Those things deal so much damage. All of the Army of Dream needs to be, well, basically half of the Army of Dream needs to be back. But Zest is threatening too much damage with his army just inside of range of the sensor towers. He knows Dream cannot split his army fully because he's still threatening right there. But he knows...
Okay, while Zest is down in supply, his army supply is actually a tiny bit higher than Dream's.
Have you ever seen 13 Dark Templars in a game of StarCraft?
Yes,
sorry, 17.
in every game of mine.
17.
And they
Dark
always blink on top of my planetaries and just 3-shot or 2-shot them.
17 Dark Templars? Like, That's probably 13 more than I've ever seen. Like,
Oh, please tell me he's just going to jump on top of Dream's army when he engages.
could do that. Like, he
Don't
can
hit-
definitely do it, and he
Oh.
does do that. That's so much damage. A good EMP is gonna catch so many Dark Templars, but the damage is through the roof. Zest is fighting. Good EMPs are gonna keep these Stalkers with very low health right there. Zest has to back away, losing so many Dark Templars, losing so much supply, and doesn't have a lot of workers back home. His gas income is very, very high. But how do you recover from losing so many key units? Like, that's the problem with Dark Templars.
Well, usually you don't want to fight with Dark Templars because they are rather squishy. Even though they deal a lot of damage, as soon as they get detected, you lose them, pretty much. That's why you usually see them taking out bases. And there's another base that will be under siege.
But the main army of Zest is collapsing under the one of Dream. GG needs to be called. Dream will get the series. Zest is out of the tournament. Too much commitment on the strat, man. Too much commitment. I'm sorry about the production tab. I have no clue what happened. Like, I don't even know how to do that. So, it just happened. I guess it happens. Like, I've seen it happen in WCS, as I was saying, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so GG. Dream gets the series. Zest is out. Dream is in the finals, waiting to face either Impact or Armani in the last game of today. It's gonna be the finals, of course, but we still have to see who between the two Zergs is gonna advance. And like the whole tournament, this is going to be the first Zerg versus Zerg, and I mean, I love the matchup. Like, it's my second favorite matchup. Like, just to cost, because I think it has a lot of hidden intricacies. It's not an easy matchup to grasp. It's a lot different from all the others, like basically all of mirrors. But before we get into the next match, guys, I want to talk a little bit about one of our wonderful sponsors. You know, G Fuel is the official drink of esports right now. They're inviting you to take a trip down Flavor Memory Lane with a new flavor, which is gonna be bubblegum. So, zero sugar, antioxidants, vitamins, everything you need to keep focused on your objectives, studying, gaming session, having a tournament, going to the gym, whatever you need. G Fuel got what you need. And back it up with flavor, and everything that's good for you is gonna keep you hyper focused. So big shout outs to G Fuel for being such an amazing company, such an amazing sponsor, developing such amazing products. So we're going through the veto phase of Impact versus Armani. We actually
Once again, we have Death Aura vetoed by our players.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, it's probably the hardest map to grasp for now. I expect, like, in a month to be a more common map. A little bit like Zen was. Like, Zen was a perma-banned, perma-vetoed map at the beginning, and then everybody started playing it a little bit more.
Yeah,
So,
but you know,
I'm kind of
purity in the industry just stayed permabanned.
Yeah, but the problem of purity in the industry was pure imbalance. I don't think, I may be wrong, but I don't think that Flora is purely imbalanced. I still think that those bridges like prove a little bit less of a threat than, let's say, Winter's Gate. Like, Winter's Gate inhibitor zones were just crazy. The map shaped that way, the third base being so far away from everything and the other one being so open was just a little bit of a stretch, and everybody hated that map for different reasons, unless you proxy ashed on that map, but that's just for evil peoples like me. And I feel like Death Aura is not gonna be on the same level of craziness. I think it's like closer to Ephemeron. It was Ephemeron, the name of the map. Yeah, I think it was Ephemeron. I think it's closer to that map than it is to, like, it's just the same concept with the map being a slightly larger and having those accelerated zones. The concept is basically just the same. So
those players are hot right now. They want to get into those games.
They do.
Man, I
indeed.
can't believe it.
So while we get into this game, guys, wait, why are you gone from my stream? Wait,
Am I gone?
yeah,
Where did I go?
I have no clue.
I'm in
And
the
you're
lobby
back.
right now.
You're back.
So
No, you're from the stream. You were gone from. Basically, your webcam stopped working for like 2 seconds or so. I don't know for what reason. But let me get a little bit into my monitor before we get further into this to show you guys what you can do by getting into our Match Arena page that you can find the link inside the stream. For just the price of $5 that are gonna go entirely into the prize pool, you can buy actually the replay pack of every single one of the matches that have been playing this far, Group A, Group B and playoffs. So for the price of $5, you can watch through these games over and over from your point of view, learn from the best of the best, and just hone your skills by watching how these players succeed and how they fail as well. But let's get into the lobby right now. Once again, it's
I
going
can
to be
tell you,
evergreen.
those players really have a lot of opinions about the new changes.
Yeah, like God forgive Zerg for being so strong in 2019. Like, that's all I can say.
Amani is like, it's just GG. With all the nerfs Zerg received and all the buffs to the Widow Mine and the Shield Battery, Impact agrees.
Let's get into this beautiful matchup. Fun, says Impact. I agree with him, but I don't think he agrees with himself. So... Oh man, he's really hyped to start the game.
Right? he wants to get this behind himself like as fast as possible.
Oh
Okay.
well, our money is no less. Like,
All of them.
and I think both of these players are kind of specialists of the matchup, but I have to tip my favorite into Impact. Like, I really think he's the favorite here. I really
agree.
think he is a very strong Zerg versus Zerg player. He's a very strong player overall. But this matchup, I feel like he's very good at it.
Well, we will see. Spawning on Everdream in the top right corner. It's the red Zerg player representing Team LP. It is Impact.
And in the bottom left, he's in the blue, he's the Zerg player. He is looking for a chance to get into the finals. We're talking about our money. Another one of those Zerg players that just lived under the shadow of Su, Rogue, and Dark, of course.
I was like, okay, who's there? Who's there to name?
Yeah, like those three are just the horsemen of Korean Zerg, and like I feel like those two players, Armani and Impact, they're probably not at their level, but they're, especially Impact, they're not that far below, and they were a little bit too overshadowed in the past by those three.
I feel like there
There are
should be a
also
tier
other
between
Zergs,
those,
by the way.
like between Rogue, Dark, Su, and Impact and Armani, because there should be place for Ragnarok somewhere in there, but Armani immediately going for the 12 pool and pulling his drones.
And Impact apparently has strong opinions about this, and like right now I'm with my hand in my hair, just a little bit disappointed, but at the same time I'm just, man, everyone does this. Is it really that strong? Look at them spine crawlers go.
I feel like if you don't respect it, it is super strong. But at the same time, Impact seems to have a good response to this. He's losing 2 drones for free right there.
Yeah,
but
the spine crawler won't go up as well. Now he's going to fight the spine crawlers of Armani with all of his army. Those Zerglings in the front are gonna pack a punch. The spine crawlers are not done yet. Armani is losing everything he has slowly but steadily. More Zerglings are going through the map. Armani needs to buy some time and he's bought himself enough. Now the spine crawlers are done and this one spawning pool is not gonna survive the day. Both spine crawlers on the bottom ground next to the natural. And it is going to be one of those games. There is one spine crawler in the minor line of Impact. Of course, it's not possible to fight 2 spine crawlers with 1 spine crawler. And Impact is not going through the map to face his opponent. He doesn't have the minerals to reveal anything anywhere. He could just bring his spine crawler and hide it somewhere, but we don't want to see that. We want to see Impact do something more brave, and that's what he does. He pulls everything up. Spine crawler goes down. There is 1 queen with the fight right now. 1 spine crawler goes down for Armani as well. And now the fight is shifting sides again. Armani back in the lead with his spine crawler surviving the fight and the spawning pool going down. Impact has to call the GG. Armani gets game number 1. Best
what
of
a
5 series.
volatile matchup, man.
Come on, it's just one little nuisance that happens in 75%
map.
of Zerg versus Zerg.
I feel like every match looks like this.
Like, Everdream is insane for this build because you can hit the natural with the spine crawler in the main, and it's just a little bit unfair. And, like, it's also very hard to decide where you're gonna place the spawning pool. You usually don't mind it that much, but yeah, it's a good build. Like, what is up next? Proxy Arch? I'm down for it, by the way. I'm an expert.
You're filthy Zerg hard.
I'm a
like that.
renowned expert of the Proxy Arch art. So, you know, I've had Starkiller teach me the nook and cranny of it. So, but he showed me a couple replays, and I just copied everything from him, and it worked just fine. By the way, I think I never lost 1 game with that build, and I feel very. Can you feel bad and good at the same time for proxy arching? Because that's how I feel.
Okay, so Impact is a little bit frustrated why he couldn't stop this, and he's asking if there is anybody who can stop this.
Apparently,
Armani,
so.
Armani is like, it's just Everdream.
That is true. Have you seen that game in which Sue and Scarlet did this against each other at the same time?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I did.
It was beautiful.
I only remember Scarlet doing it to Rogue and Rogue's face while she was doing this.
Yeah, basically this happened. So Scarlet versus Sue, game 1, they both do the same thing, but Sue retreats back home with his army and Scarlet loses. Game 2, they both do it again, but they both retreat back to their bases, and we have a standard game. Which Scarlet, well, standard game. Scarlet won the game by just Zergling rushing and sending 50 Zerglings through the map. But
I just want to point out that those players are talking in different chats with each other.
in different languages as well.
You start in the lobby chat and with Armani talking, and Impact is just answering in the.
That's a fair show of personality right there, right? They just have to express themselves. That's their players for you.
I guess so. Okay, let's get into this game.
And they switch colors. Oh, how much I love when mirror players switch colors.
on Submarine. It is the top left corner. Spawning Zerg in blue. Impact. Oh my god.
And in the bottom right hand corner, doing the same thing again. Is the red Zer player leading the series 1-0? It is. Armani. Oh wait, he's not doing it again. No way. No way. No actual way this is a proxy hatch.
What are you doing, Armani?
No actual way.
Okay, so Armani didn't try the new maps yet, or the new ladder season. He's about to start it today, and Impact will see this drone.
No, he won't. Oh yes, he will.
He did. Come on, he did.
And now what do you do? If he starts an archery there, oh my
Oh
god.
my god, what is this game?
Oh,
Yes!
that's
This
genius!
is so nice! Amazing! Can you fit in two spine crawlers there?
No, you can't. It's the space. The space is a 3x3 square. It's
Oh.
exactly the size of an evolution chamber. And just when the archery gets a little bit bigger, because otherwise it's just a 2x2 square, 2x2. Okay, Armani is sending everything through the map, and he has a spine crawler already there, and he has 150 minerals, so he can make 2 more spine crawlers. And he
Oh
does.
my god. Impact
Well, you
will
can make
just be
one,
like,
actually.
where's that spine crawler coming from?
And he has a ton of stuff going at his opponent. The first spine crawler for Armani, for Impact, will go down, while Armani is already routing the one into the main of Impact. This fight is going rough for the red Zerg, but now that his spine crawler is well set, he could switch sides very quickly, and so it does. Armani doesn't have a lot of army plus workers left standing, but he has 2 spine crawlers. Impact doesn't have a single one.
No, he indeed has not a single spine crawler standing, but he still has a spawning pool and 8 additional Zerglings on the way. He is now catching the reinforcements in the natural, but will it be enough? Will he be able to break those spine crawlers with his Zerglings? Because he doesn't have any income anymore. There's 2 drones left and those Zerglings. And it does look like...
Impact calls it Armani at match point.
God. Is Armani just going to go 12 pool in like slightly different variations?
I could throw up to that probably.
Let's see what Ice and Chrome will look like.
Come on, you can't do it on Ice and Chrome. Ice and Chrome is huge. You actually cannot do that. I'm
We'll
serious.
see.
I'm that serious about this. You cannot do this build. If you do it, you're just gonna lose.
Watch him do it.
I'm calling it. If he does it again, he's just going to lose. There is no way on earth this build can work on Ice and Chrome. It just doesn't, right? It just do not. It
I'm
could
pretty
go for
sure
2 base
Impact-
mutants though, which is even worse, according to some
If you
people.
were Impact right now, would you be tilting?
I would be probably hysterically laughing. And trust me, I've been through this in a tournament, but it was a best of 3. So, yeah, yeah. There's no better moment to this.
This is so much fun.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're not doing the same. What is Impact saying?
Please send me into my not retirement, but like when you stop working.
Okay.
Please finish this for me.
Okay.
Amani's like, I have a lot of luck today.
Okay. Well, let's call
Go
it
on.
luck.
Let's call it that.
Yeah, he is not going to. Yeah, come on. Let's all be
Oh,
serious.
please tell me he's doing it again.
No,
Please make him do it again.
I'm sorry to break it to you, my friend, but he just cannot do it. The map is too big.
We'll see. We'll see.
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. Alright? It just does not. Well, spawning in the bottom left hand corner, leading the series 2-0. One game away, one victory from heading into the finals to face Dream. It is the Blue Zerg, Armani.
And spawning in the top right corner, he's currently down 2-0. Will this map have an impact on this series and bring him back? It is Impact.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh, I'm slightly disappointed, but yet he did not. He did take a hatchery. Armani, come on.
Yuck.
For the memes.
Like, look at how long this. I think it's like 40 seconds rush distance from base to base.
So what? Then you just build the spine crawlers in the natural, right? You get there when the natural is finished, and then you build them there, and everything's alright.
It could still be a link rush, but like there is the possibility exists, but I don't think it will. But talking about broken things, Nidus is insanely good on this map. Like insanely good.
I haven't seen a single PVZ yet where the Zerg decided to go for Swarmhouse Nidus on this map at least. Did they play something like this in the Home Story Cup yesterday?
No, they didn't. But it is prone to be like it is just it will be time. Like it will take some time to figure out. But it just is a very good Nidus map. Every phase has some kind of protection.
Yesterday?
Sorry?
Did you catch any of the Home Story Cup games yesterday?
I caught a couple, but I couldn't actually go through them all.
I was preparing for the team league. The rookie team did play yesterday. Sadly, we lost 3-2 in the ace match. But
I wasn't.
It was fun either way.
Yeah, it always is. Been through my fair share of team leagues in the past when I was young.
You're still young.
Yeah. Not on the inside though. So. Okay, the bailiness from Impact is a little bit on the early side. Like this is supposed to come down a little bit later. Like yeah, exactly. Like 3 minutes is when it is supposed to be dropped. Armani had a little bit on the later side, Impact had a little bit on the earlier side. I think that's just a matter of choice. Both players intentionally hitting the 36 supply block.
Intentionally.
Yeah, it is part of the build order, I'm not even kidding. I'm sure about it. Like, the 44 supply block is not intentional. You should not hit that, by the way.
Maybe he's just waiting for the hatchery to finish. Because then you basically save yourself.
Yeah, but you still make two overloads because you need supply for your defensive units, either banelings or anything, and you need to add 2 more queens for injects and defense. So you have to have, basically you have to be at 58 soon after your 36 overload finishes. But
and you go for.
I know a lot about this match. Okay, I just know a lot about this match.
And you go for attack upgrade? Like ranged attack upgrade?
Yeah, you usually choose between melee if you go mutas and ranged if you go roaches. Of course, roaches are the most common one and in my opinion the best one, most solid. And usually the player who gets +1 ranged earlier is the one who gets a little bit of an edge. Both players pretty much on the same timing. As you can see, +1 ranged is so valuable that Armani had his own Roach Warren a little bit on the late side, but we have a lair on a little bit on the earlier side and not enough gas income to actually start pumping out those upgrades and roaches. So Armani is very skipping forward, cutting corners in his build order because he's not going to have roach speed with his lair. He's going to have far less roaches and it's going to be quite a little bit of a mess. if
Impact
Impact
is
decides to go on
looking
the
to put some
aggression.
pressure on that third base with his circlings, but
Yeah.
I don't think those should get any damage out with the Banelings on the map. The first Baneling might
Ooh,
connect.
that's
Okay,
a
get
good
decent
connection.
connect. The second Baneling is moving in as well.
Ooh.
Might get 3 drones.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually. That is pretty good. Banelings tend to fall off a lot in this matchup once you go past the 5-minute mark, so getting 3 drones and a Baneling with it, not a big cool. So Impact decided to go on the aggression with his very severe lack of workers. I think this is a good move, but Queens on the defense are that good. Those Banelings need to eat 3 roaches each to gain enough value for this fight to be good, and they are struggling to do that. Okay, right now the run of Banelings can get down the Spinecrawler. This fight is going heavily in favor of Impact.
Zerglings streaming
Armani.
across the map, reinforcing here right now. The Zerglings might actually change the tide completely. Impact is pushing in and might take this game.
Impact certainly going through those saves with the Ravagers at a clutch time. The Ravagers just making that much of a difference. Royal Regal's edition on the way for Armani, but it's a little bit on the later side. Those Roaches won't be able to kite for the time being. Now just a bunch of Zerglings are sent through the map. I don't know if Impact wins right here, right now, but he seriously dealt a heavy blow right now to his opponent, who felt compelled to get a lot of stuff. Now he has 30 more Zerglings on the way, and he needs to get damage. His workers are even, but his supply is falling short of good. Impact pushed back for the time being, getting his lair just now. Was the GG, and Armani will get the series. That was a clutch hold. Those 5 roaches coming out of the main. Just wow.
So
It
what
was
I'm
very
wondering,
close. Very
so what
close.
I'm wondering right now is, if you go for this kind of all in, why don't you go +1 melee? Because the unit that will hit
Yeah.
as a reinforcement is your Zergling.
The problem is the distance of the bases. The roaches you can add to the fight just don't come there quick enough, and the roaches you sent in the beginning, which are going to be a pretty higher number than ones your opponent has, are just that important. You have to get that upgrade, otherwise every single trade you get into your opponent's roaches is going to be unfavorable, because it takes 1 shot less, 1 shot more to kill them, and you're just gonna lose the fight fair and square. Like, +1 upgrades, both Carapace melee and ranged attack are incredibly important in Mirror. They are more important than everything else, aside link speed, of course.
I see.
But yeah, it was in the end. I think these kind of builds tend to work poorly on these kind of maps. I like the links as a way to just send them on top of queens or on top of the workers, to just deny your opponent from getting a good all-in after that. But then again, you just have to get a lot of damage. Like, Armani had 20 workers more than his opponents, and by the end they had the same amount of workers. So yeah.
Okay, let's see how the picking phase for this best of 7 that is coming up will go. We have Submarine as our first map. Golden Wall will be our second map. Interestingly enough, Armani did pick it. So what do you make of this as a Zerg player? Do you really want to play Golden Wall?
It very much comes to having something in mind. It's one of those maps that you never pick if you don't have a clear plan in your mind. It's one of those maps that require you to play, like, to think outside of the square, right? To just do something different, because otherwise you're just gonna be like out control, outmaneuvered, because the Terran army has some kind of maneuvers that you cannot do much about it but play defensively. So either you plan to play very defensively, either you are just trying to get an edge with something a little bit crazy, or maybe you just choose it in the earlier stage because you don't want to play it later on. That could also be something, but it's something I don't really believe in.
Okay, so I've seen in my preparations for this tournament, I've seen some Armani replays, and against Innovation, he pulled out a Roach all in on this map.
That's what I was thinking.
Golden Wall. So quite possible that he's going for something like this once again.
There's
I feel
also
like
a Nidus hold-in that kind of works pretty good on Golden Wall. Nidus is still pretty strong here, but you know, Nidus against Terran is always a little bit hit or miss. So, but before we head into this series, once again, I'm gonna take the time we have between the beta phase and the actual games to talk a little bit more about our sponsors. Again, shoutouts to G Fuel, the drink of esports, the only drink worth drinking while you're playing games, especially if you're playing StarCraft. Well, it ramps up your energy, it gets your focus up from 0 to 100 real quick. It gets everything you need to have your perfect session, studying, gaming, working, going to the gym, whatever it is, you're gonna have your eyes on the prize thanks to it. They're getting new flavors, a little bit of a nostalgia trip with their bubblegum new flavor. Everything they do is just great. I seriously recommend to try their products. Zero sugar, sugar-free, vitamins, antioxidants, everything you need to stay healthy and stay focused. Well, the players are ready.
looks like Dream is ready. I'm just waiting for Armani to join his calls, because Armani just got out of his matches.
Yeah, it's fair for him to get a... Yeah, it doesn't really want to get a 5 minutes break.
If you don't want to, you don't get to.
So
There we
basically,
go.
for the people in the chat who cannot watch this, Armani is basically spamming letters in the chat, one after the other. And he has a serious pattern behind it, because he spends go, 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 then he spends G, then GG, then again G, then G, and then LHF. So he has done it 3 times in a row by far, this time, so...
I'm only surprised they don't press 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
also
I've seen Solar do it yesterday in his stream when he was practicing with Bunny. So yeah, let's see.
Let's see what happens here. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, just bested his opponent Impact 3-0 in the semifinals. It is the red Zerg player Armani.
And spawning as the blue Terran, the one who took down Zest 3-1. He is looking to take this match on Submarine. It is Dream.
As much as I like best of 5 series, is like there's something special about a best of 7. Like,
and best of 9s are even better.
I actually like best of 7 more, right?
The better it is.
I actually like best of 7 more.
Because you don't have map repetitions?
Aside from not having map repetitions, I feel like there's a little bit more like stress. Like that, it looks like each game has its stakes a little bit higher. And I think a finals is supposed to be high stakes matches, right? And
yeah.
It also has some switches of momentum, because you still need to win 4 games, so you can switch momentum real fast in this kind of series. So I think it's just the most special one, right? You just have this thing more, this flavor more. Of course, having to watch more games is fine. Having a more tactical choice of maps like best of 5s is fine. But yeah, I think StarCraft at its core is a best of 7 game.
It depends on how many maps you have in the pool. If you have 9 maps, why not make it
sure.
best of 9?
Sure,
right?
I think having 9 maps like wouldn't be that great. It's the reason like why games like Warcraft and Brook War, while having like 9 to 10 to maybe even more maps, still have... Well, actually, Brew Warrior is on 7 right now. Warcraft 3 has more. They actually still have best of 7 at their finals. I think it's the perfect balance between stakes, momentum, and tactical choices.
I'm not sure. I think I saw the last ASL finals.
Did you?
But so I know. Was it TBZ, right?
I think it was, yeah. I don't
Wasn't it
quite remember.
Light who played against Horangi or something?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was Light, but yeah, I don't really remember.
Okay.
I'm not super into the scene. I just like watching games from time to time.
Yeah, same. Like.
I'm more into the
the-
Warcraft 3 scene. Of that I know.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Reforged, huh?
We do not talk about that.
Okay. But something we will talk about is if you guys out there want to support this this event and want to get something out of it, there is a replay pack on Matcherino, so make sure to grab that one. It has all the replays as a replay pack should have,
Yeah.
and you will see all the best players duking it out on the new maps and mostly the new patches as well.
Wait, Dream is dealing quite a fair share of damage. If he gets an... Oh my god, those drones are
one more
so
volley.
lined up.
Oh my god, that volley.
God.
Oh my god, even another one. 14 drones being killed so early in the game, that hurts. That hurts.
That is game-ending damage. Like, you
Barbecue,
do not
man.
recover from that. You absolutely do not. Like, that's so much larva. Armani needs to do something. He needs to get scouting. There is a command center being dropped because Dream doesn't fear anything right now. He knows Armani needs to replace his lost drones. So he's not gonna have any army whatsoever. He can grid how much he wants. And that's not even grid, it's just a 5 minutes command center. He could add one more for what it's worth. Armani drops a 5-minute lair. That's pretty standard. And I want to see where the Banshee's at. Okay, it looks like it got one drone killed, and then the Queens shoo it away. So I wasn't expecting the Banshees to deal a serious amount of damage.
Well,
Neither I was
already-
expecting the Hellions.
They were already doing some damage. If you lost 14 drones, then being forced to produce some spore crawlers.
Yeah, of course.
This is
like,
just adding up.
like if you think about it, the price of a spore crawler is 2 drones and the 50 minerals plus 2 larvae. So it's basically 250 and 2 larvae. So it's a heavy price. Like, static defense doesn't come cheap for Zerg.
Okay, let's see how Armani imagines to get this game back rolling on his side, because as of right now, I feel like Dream is in a particularly good spot. He is going for bio play, which is something we don't often see out of Dream these days.
Yeah.
I know he used to be really, really famous for his bio control back in the Heart of the Swarm days, but lately he has been looking to play a lot more back. Oh my god, I love those changes!
There's-
4 Hellions killing creep tuners, this is amazing!
There's something fascinatingly scary about players who just send 4 aliens in your base and doesn't care at all if there are queens or not. I think that's the best kind of TVZ players. The ones who just commit to their decisions. They're the ones who win the most of you. So there is a tank push right here. These ones per color won't survive for much longer, but Nido Queens, of course, are the focus with Transfuses. Will keep a bunch of them alive for the time being, but the tank is getting so much damage, as well as the Banshees. Those low banelings cannot get very close. Now the Spore Crawler almost goes down. A good surround by Armani almost gets down the tank. Spore Crawler falls. Armani supply block. He's sending as many links as he can possibly do. Banelings getting crazy good connections, but in the end, Dream gets away with so much more damage. Queens are so pivotal right now to Armani game plan. He cannot lose anything right now, and he lost so much. His creep spread is basically like halved right now compared to what it used to be. And those Banshees are just raining hell on the army of Armani.
That was a beautiful engagement for Dream. The tank could just shell at everything for a long time, and then he even got the Banelings fired out with those Banshees. Now the 4th base is up for Armani, but at the 3rd base he's lacking creep, and he is lacking a lot of creep. The only thing that I have going for Armani is that corridor of creep through the middle of the map, which should not be alive for much longer.
It looks like it is now. And by the way, we were talking about the ease with which you can wall off your third base as a Terran player in this matchup like 2 days ago, and we were right about it. We were damn right. That base, the third base from Dream, is impossible to approach for a third player. There is no way you can approach that base.
Okay, let's see how Dream will do in this engagement. The Banelings being fired, focus fired by the tanks, and the Marines were nicely split, so no damage that Armani could actually hope to do there. The 3rd base will most likely fall. The splits have to be good, and they are so far. Banelings rolling in, but getting killed as they come. Only Queens really surviving right now.
And not even that easily. So much energy for transfuses that's being used. Dream not even focusing the highest energy Queens might work in favor of Armani right here, but it's just bleeding slowly. That's a death by 1,000 cuts right here. Banshees focusing down Queens or Banelings, whatever they come into contact with, and the lack of creep is really working wonders for Dream. Those Banelings and those Queens cannot get too close to the army of Dream, who can now split it up, drop wherever he wants, and maybe finally get this archery killed. Armani really trying to get a foothold right here to establish his 4th base, to get a good amount of workers, which he has, but he's really struggling to keep up with Dream aggression.
Okay, so Armani did do a good job in holding off those attacks. He is close enough in Dream's supply that if those Banelings get good connects or the Queens take down the mid-evac.
Oh, that's very big, by the way. That's huge. That's huge.
Another push by Dream at the 4th base location. Dream putting on the pressure. He does not know about the 5th base on the bottom left, but he sure as hell is going to find out soon. Pick up there, saving the Marines. And Armani is slowly but surely getting back into this game, I feel like.
Do you feel like it? I really do
Well,
not.
he was at 70 workers.
Well, it's 11 minutes and he doesn't have a hive though.
Nah. I guess you're right.
That's like
But that's
bad.
the nature of the style, isn't it? You go for super
actually, no, you kind of don't. Like you try to get it a little bit earlier than this because you need, like, ultras with upgrades are just sitting ducks, and you need those upgrades, so you need an early hive. Your army basically doesn't get hindered by any means, and that's the reason why you make a 7:30 infestation bit, and soon after it finishes you start the hive. So the timing should be like, I feel like almost 2 full minutes earlier than this. Like, these upgrades were on point, and by having these upgrades on point, you didn't have a hype. Right now, of course, these Queens and Lynx can defend as long as the 4th bases stay up. The 5th,
my
of course,
god, the
will
5th
not-
base is going so low and it falls.
9 drones fall with it here in the natural, and in the end, Armani bleeding a little bit more to his death of 1,000 cuts. He's done right now, but Dream
Keep
could
in mind,
push
Dream
anytime.
does not have the 3-3 on the way. He only starts
Yeah,
it
that's
now.
late. Yeah, that's very late. I agree with you. That's very late. Okay.
So Armani still
Level
in
up.
this because the 3-3 for Dream has been so delayed. Oh,
so
he
much
should not lose the
damage.
5th base
And that's
again.
not a cancel, by the way. That was a kill for Dream. And Armani really doesn't have much minerals to spare right now. His income may be big, his workers count may be good enough, but Dream is almost maxed out. Armani really needs a miracle to keep up, and that's why these Hives should have been a lot earlier. These Vipers are pivotal right now for Armani. They are so important, and they're going to be so easily caught by Dream, since his ground army cannot be scary enough. His Crypt Tumor are not further enough.
I love this. Is this... Oh no, it's a sensor tower. I was like, okay, is he transitioning into Ghost?
Yeah, it was looking like it, but I really like these Widowmines here, getting even more damage. A bunch of Banelings fell to get it right now. Oh my god, those Vipers are so exposed. Dream is dropping right underneath them. If he steams on top of those Vipers... Oh.
He does! He takes down one Viper for sure. The second one will fall as well. A lot of gas being lost right there.
And that's basically game over for Armani. Those Vipers are so important right now. He doesn't even Ultra Cavern going up yet.
Dream gearing up for a big drop into the main. We will see how this one is going to go, because Armani does not have any vision of it as of yet. He will not have any vision for a long time.
And his whole army is a little bit off position. Right now he's dropping at the third. One part of his army, the other part is here in the main, dealing mostly just with Zerglings. +3/+3 is not done yet, so those Marines can uptrade into them. The Banelings will try to get some connections. The connections are beautiful. The supply of Dream plummets, but so does the third base of Armani, and probably the fifth as well. Many drones and many Banelings are bound to fall as well. The Widowmines do not get very good connections, but right now Dream is supposed to
did get a lot of kills. It killed almost all those Zerglings, but
drone count is still going to be pretty low. 58 workers. Dream replacing all his lost supply in the blink of an eye, and more drones falling by the minute everywhere. Dream can eat. He's surely hitting. Dream gets game 1, and what a decisive victory it was.
What an action-packed match it was as well. Dream getting in with those 4 Hellions in the beginning of the match, got 14 drone kills, and just snowballed from that point out.
I have to say I was a little bit skeptical about this map. I kind of liked it, but I have to admit it, this map just feels good. I feel like it's a very good map. It's a good Terra map. Don't think I'm not considering this as well, but it's still it's very interesting. Like, I can imagine like maybe Swarmos being absolutely devastating on this map. So most of all, I don't want to be a Protoss player, but even a Protoss player can fight in those choke points with Storm, and I think it's just a beautiful map. It just encourages a style of playing that is not common in StarCraft 2.
Okay, we'll get started right away.
Yeah, I have to say, I cannot stop thinking about this. I think this is my favorite map of the pool right now. Like, it's so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's so unique.
You know what I'm waiting for?
What?
The match where the Zerg player is not getting behind because Hellions get into the natural and kill all the drones. And then we get like the super macro game. You remember those macro games between Saril and TY, or Innovation and Saril, or Maru and Scarlet, where you got like nukes all over the place. You have ghosts here, liberators there, and you have run-bys by the Terran and by the Zerg. All the action all at once. That's what I'm looking for. But now we are spawning.
It's the purest nature of StarCraft 2, right? Like, ZVT late game is just why StarCraft 2 is the best RTS game in the world.
It is. But now we are looking at Golden Wall, and let's make this introduction quick. It is the blue Terran spawning on the red side. It's Dream.
And on the opposite corner, spawning as the red Zerg instead. 1 point behind in his best of 7 series finals of Ultimate Showdown. It is Armani. So
And Dream is already going for the strategy that won't lose in tournaments.
okay, Armani is going to see this pretty quickly. And he's going to see the first rocks that has been
is he?
made. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. Unless he just suddenly turns his overload back. Oh my god, okay, yeah, he did.
Did he see?
Yeah, he did. He's
Okay, he
also
confirms
waiting with the
one
overload there to
right?
see the first units that spawns. So he's gonna know it's a marine, he's gonna know it's a bunker, he's gonna pull his units, his drones of course, to stop it from going up. That's the real counter, but then again it's not easy to react to this. It's actually very, very hard, and that spot of the bunker is so nasty, by the way.
It is. And the second SCB was spotted as well. It will help defend his brother in arms.
Yeah,
and the Marine
Armani
will also
really-
join the fight,
yeah.
so one drone will just not cut it.
Armani really, really, really underestimating this, in my opinion. I've seen players pull even 8 to 10 drones to this. Because stopping that bunker from going up, killing the first marine, means basically having a perfect hold. And this is going to be a very messy hold instead. And that only because he wanted to pull more drones. I think that was a mistake. Like, I know it can sound wrong, but I think that was a big mistake.
I'm not sure either if this was a wise choice. All the Zerglings have fallen already. The Marines are picking at the hatchery. The Queen will hatch, but it will most likely fall immediately.
Yeah, it's not even injecting right now. He just doesn't find a chance to do that. Now he's pulling all of the drones, which is a little bit too late, but it's not too late. As he can hold this, he's gonna lose a little bit of drones. Now that one bunker goes down, he basically can revolve back to Queen Ling defense.
One bunker still up and firing at the hatch. The
the
Marines are
hatchery
trying to move in as well. Will he
Oh,
be
good
able to
transfuse.
save the hatchery?
Yeah, right now Marines are focusing down the lanes. A lot of the army of Armani has gone down and more of the reinforcements are coming. These actually won't survive up here. More lanes are getting into the battle. The SCVs being down means a lot. But these queens are very, very bruised. Transfuses has been used. This archery is falling lower and lower on health. 54 HPs. Now that the bunker is under attack by those lanes, it will burn down, but so will the archery. Everything has been caught for Dream. But the archery of Armani didn't survive. 24 workers to 15. Armani has a starport on the making, has a command center on the making. Another one of the reasons that this build is so strong is that those racks are just gonna serve as production facility later on, where you don't actually rely on factory units anymore, like aliens, of course, reactor aliens I'm talking about. And now with the Medivac almost being done, it could also start dropping. This is Golden Wall. Drops can be incredibly oppressive. I think Dream shattered Armani's game plan with a very, very fast double up punch.
Yeah, I don't think Armani's reaction was too tight neither.
Yeah.
It felt like he was underestimating Dream's position in all of this. Maybe he just expected there to be one barracks, but even then, I'm not sure if you really want that bunker to get up in your natural.
Yeah, you really don't. But it's never a bad thing to respect what your opponent could be doing. Also, I think he saw the second rocks, so yeah, he saw the Marines. He exactly knew this was coming. He could have countered it even just with 4 drones being pulled, 2 per SCV, so that the bunker will never go up. He didn't, just didn't. Armani sees this is coming, he sends a couple aliens, a couple links, but these aliens will get in the mineral line right now. Being lifted back
Oh my
into
god,
the
they
menu.
stack so much!
Ooh. Get 7 drones. Losing 4 aliens and the Medivac. Right now, those are losses Dream can take and Armani cannot. So even though 7 drones is not the biggest amount of damage you're ever gonna deal, it's still gonna be enough to knock Armani out of this game. That's just not enough leverage for Armani to stay in that game. It's a sad ending to this game, but you have to acknowledge, like, as the Zerg player, there are situations in which, like, you can afford to lose something, but you cannot afford to lose this much, not without actually having some kind of I don't know, production facility. And by that I mean being later in the game and having more archeries. So yeah, it was game. Well done by Dream. What else to say?
Well. Dream really putting on the pressure in this series. The first game he got those Hellions in, killed a lot of workers, got himself into a great position, put on the pressure from there on. And the second game was just Alturex you, and if you don't know how to defend this correctly, you will die.
And it's not even like it's a build that is uncommon on Golden Ball. It's a pretty common way to approach the matchup as the Terran on this map. It's a good way to do so. Like, getting early advantage on Golden Ball for the Terran player basically means winning the game like 90% of the times. So yeah. Okay, we have Def Flora. Finally, first time today, and we may be gonna have our doubts a little bit shattered after this series, because we both have different ideas about it, and players seem to disagree a lot about it. But let's get into introductions first. Spawning in the top left hand corner as the blue Zerg player, currently 2 points behind in this best of 7 series. It is the finals, and it's to switch momentum back into his side. He needs wind in his sails. He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom right corner, the red Terran with a dream to take this final. He's up 2-0. It is Dream.
Representing Brave Star Gaming, of course, as you can see on the screen. Great team. Great team. Just nothing else to say.
So, I don't like this map.
Really?
I really don't like this map.
Why? As a Terran, well, okay, I can understand a couple of reasons, but why specifically?
I hate building stuff in my main base. It's so small.
Oh.
It's so small. You get like 3 barracks, a factory, a starport, and then it's done. You can build behind your mineral line, but if you go mech, for example, or put something like slightly weird, your units will just not fit through anymore.
Oh.
Happened to me way too often, and I got so frustrated by it. Then the second reason is your third base is so far away from your natural.
That is true.
It's insane. When you see the layout, you think, okay, this looks pretty easy to defend. The fourth base on the low ground has a nice choke point which you can wall off. The third base is on the high ground. It looks pretty close to each other, but in the end it's so far away.
But
it's insanity.
Talking about the matchup specifically, like the points you said about like the third base and everything, I feel like there are some crazy good tank spots on this map. Like sieging with tank, timing with 2 tanks against Zerg. Like just looking at my camera right here next to the third, this ledge over here makes for an incredibly good tank spot as well. Like, yeah, Armani is taking this third base because it's easier to defend, hilariously enough.
I really, this map, man. And if you want to play against,
kind of reminds me of Cyber Forest, by the way. It looks like a bigger Cyber Forest.
You think so?
Like, there are bridges instead of those little choke points that Cyber Forest had, and there are alternative paths which are actually longer, but they're blocked by rocks.
You know what reminds me of of Cyber Forest.
What?
Now that I think of it, Pillars of Gold.
Pillars of gold?
Yeah, the third base. You have two third base locations, right?
Yeah.
You have the one on the low ground,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
has
yeah.
high
The
ground.
Cerulean Fall. So, yeah, the first map that introduced that kind of pattern was Cerulean Fall, and then Cyber Forest was looking a lot like it. So yeah, I can totally see the similarities.
Let's see. Let's see.
Wait. We missed
Oh,
something.
he's going
pretty
mech.
big.
He's going mech.
Fusion Core, and we have a Roach Warren as the rightful answer with our money. Getting his Overlord right
no.
beneath the main of his opponent and scouting the Fusion Core. So let's get a little bit about into this game, right?
Did you see his barracks floating all the way to the one Overlord spot there is? Okay, there's one thing about this map that I really want to put out there is great. You don't have an Overlord spot at the natural. Your Overlord
Whoa, that
can
is
pervert
huge.
somewhere else. But you have one right there at the toe, at the ramps to the left.
Yeah, it's
That's the
very
only
fun.
one. And Dream just flew out there with his barracks to check if it was there.
Yeah, it's very experimental. I like it.
Oh, we see the Hellbat. We are going to see the Hellbat battlecruiser push, but Armani just having none of it. He's just.
How do you feel
walking
about
across
Widow
the map.
Mines with this? By the way, now that Armory grants invisibility to Widow Mines burrows.
I wonder if we are going to see this. Yet I'm afraid that all the Widow Mines are going to kill your Hellbats because the Zerglings will just run.
Unless
towards
you
your-
actually do not make them into Hellbats and kill all of the drones with it. But right now, Dream fails to do as good as he did before. Of course, roaches are a big part of this. Roaches can just melt everything down, but the first battlecruiser is getting
Oh my
here.
God.
So many queens are waiting for it. Armani at this defense, pretty damn straight. Of course, exploitable third location is going to try and grant a little bit more kills, but this battlecruiser got 2 kills and already has to fly away.
2 patches earlier or 1 patch earlier, and that battlecruiser dies because all of those queens get 1 additional shot on it. Now the Hellions will go in once again and get 11 additional drone kills.
No. They just got 4 more.
Okay.
It's a
I
total
was
of
like,
11.
did he just kill Armani once again with
No.
Hellions only?
I really like how Armani is sending the roaches through the map to force the battlecruiser back home and having to defend with queens against everything else so he can transition into Spire quicker. This overseer will die. Not a big loss for Armani, which is not gonna... Yeah, as you've seen, these queens can just keep the aliens at bay by themselves. Now that they are a critical mass, they just cannot do much. Armani didn't even overcommit into roaches. I feel like Armani is playing a great game this far.
He is. The Hellions will morph into Hellbats to cancel this 4th base for Armani. And this is the thing I was talking about. The 4th and the 3rd base are so far apart.
Yeah, definitely.
No matter which one you take. Like, defending one and the other one as well.
The roaches back home. Those aliens cannot do much. One of the queens falls to the battle cruiser, but I don't think it will get much more damage. A couple of drone kills.
Actually, it will get a lot of damage done because the queens are... Where are the queens?
Yeah, they were at the front, I feel, to face the Hellions. But now Corruptors are out. This battlecruiser does have jump, by the way. Or maybe not.
It will fall. But his brother is already making his way across the map.
That's the first battlecruiser, by the way. The one that fell was the second one.
Oh, right.
So the first one still lives.
Oh, he got himself the Yamato cannon.
Yeah, but he didn't use it once.
Maybe he'll use it.
Okay,
now.
here he comes.
Hey.
So getting a free win
Goodbye to
always
your
beautiful.
queen.
But yeah, Armani has there's a very strong push going on at him right now. It's not even like Battlecruiser comes back home and deals with it because there are 8 Corruptors. Now these Ravagers can just get a lot of damage, and those are units that can really gain value over time very quickly. Especially with a lot of Lucius dying at the front.
One Battlecruiser will walk back home, and other than that we have a Widow Mine and a tank. This is not enough to hold all the Roaches and Corruptors off. The Vision on the high ground might...
Yeah, Grunting Vision on the high ground. One of the tank immediately falls. Now the Corruptors will fight with the Battlecruiser, and they will kill it slowly with those SCV repairing, but indeed it will be a victory for Armani. GG gets called. And Armani starts to get his grasp into this series. Everybody, we have a series now. We finally have a series after 2 pretty much uncontested victories by Dream. Armani strikes back, perfect defense, attacking just at the right time, and I have to say it was a very one-sided victory.
Okay, so this is the thing about this map, Death Aura, that I am not too fond of as a Terran player, because you want to get the usually you should have the high ground and the advantage with it.
Yeah.
But the space in front of the natural is so big that the opponent might just walk up there and get the advantage
and the ramp is far. It's not like the first map that comes to my mind that has a similar pattern is Trident. It's not like Trident that there is still a ramp into the natural, so that the Zerg units still have to get on top of that ramp, which makes it a little bit harder. The ramp is further away, so it's pretty open, so the Zerg can get on there. So I can really get with you, like, on this. I feel like the concept of not having tanks for defense on the high ground always, at any time, for all your free bases at the start, it's something good to experiment on, but I think that Trident had this kind of style a little bit better than this map has. This map feels a little bit too punishing for that. While Trident adds a way around.
It's just so big. Like, you don't really expect it to be that big because your units get across so fast with those acceleration zones. But it's so huge.
It is true. It is indeed true. One of those maps maybe makes Spire or Starport even a little bit weaker than it should be. So yeah.
Armani will take a small break. While he is taking a break, why don't you guys just take a look at the match renal page we have and get yourself the replays, because there have been some really nice builds so far and some really nice games to look at if you don't know how to play a matchup or how to counter a certain build.
So definitely gonna use those replays that I'm lucky to have for free to improve my game, learn from the best. But of course, every single cent you're gonna spend on the match arena page is gonna go directly into the prize pool. My voice did something weird there, but yeah, so by doing that you support the players directly without any in between. So if you want to support those guys and make your games better, then just go on and get those replays. So, yeah, I will take this chance to drink a little bit water as well.
Oh man,
You know,
it has been a
on the
long
screen.
day already, right?
A little bit. Especially with all of the stress of the stream not starting. That was the worst.
That's always the worst.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it
man.
always
I'm
happens
so
to me.
happy.
I'm always like the experimental that has to use weird stuff to make it work. But yeah, it worked.
Oh, I'm just so happy that it worked out in the end.
Yeah, definitely. We're going on Everdream, so I'm surprised it's like the fourth map. Like, Everdream is supposed to be almost 100% of the times the first or second map played in a series. And here we have it after probably 2 of the craziest maps of the pool.
Yeah. I'm
But
interested.
Golden Wall is
in
crazy as
what-
well, so probably 3.
I'm interested in what we are going to see on Everdream, because Dream is known for going mech
Yeah.
a lot. Yet he has shown us bio on Submarine, and it looked damn well.
Yeah, definitely.
And
He got 12 drones in the first 4 minutes. Let's not forget that.
I feel Armani is the more aggressive kind of Zerg,
Yeah.
who will try to hit good timings. And Everdream is pretty well set up for that one.
It very much depends. Like, it's one of those maps I very much like to see, like, Muta play and stuff such as that, because I think there is something a little bit too careful with Terran players on Everdream. They used to be a little bit more aggressive on this map. They've grown to be very, very careful about what they do. In this matchup, at least, not against Protoss, of course. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what is going to happen. Even though I think Dream has a slightly better grasp of the late game, so I'm not too sure if Armani took too long to get his grasp into the game. So we will see.
Yeah, and spawning as the blue Terran on the left bottom side of Everdream, it is the man with a dream, Dream himself.
And in the top right hand corner, as the red Zerg, you're looking at the base of Armani. There is still this
doing
weird
it
line.
again.
Yeah. Wait a second. Like, this spot is so hard to scout as well. I hate it. Okay, double Rex. These are very close together. Okay, but Armani is going to see that. He's definitely going to see that. And it's going to be way earlier than before. So I'm expecting a very good reaction to this.
Okay, he's pulling drones already. He
Yeah,
will
it's
try
5
to
drones.
fight
It's
it
the
while
perfect
it's
number.
building.
It's the perfect number. Like, it's exactly how many drones I was expecting him to pull. Exactly how many he needs. This proxy already looks bad right now. First
Does it
SCV
though?
will barely finish his Rex. With a Marine starting out, there will be no bunker with his proxy.
Oh my god, the RNG god!
Yeah.
He exists! And both barracks will finish.
But no
my-
bunker will be made. Drones go back home. Okay, they want to fight the Marines actually. It
Oh, I
pops
don't
on
think
a
that
good
is a good
side.
idea.
Oh, it could be. 2 more SCVs are going through the map. This Marine is going to be a little bit busy with those drones. And now the spawning pool is already done. The archery is already done. Everything is fine. The spine crawler is going up. It will be done. Basically at the same time the bunker is done. And now linked, more drones are going to pull. Armani is playing this perfectly to me.
All of you Terran players out there, still take out your notepads and note down where Dream put his barracks, because that positioning is just so sweet that there is enough space for your SCVs not to be affected. Nice stutter step here by Dream.
Yeah.
He is target firing all of those Zerglings. Now the drones should be next. 4 Marines survived all of this. Do 4 Marines out damage the spine crawler?
No, they do not. The spine crawler deals bonus damage to the buster, so it will just go down. And now the queen is fighting. A bunch of links are gonna pop out with its health, and the push is gonna end for Dream right here, right now. Only 3 workers behind. Armani is still.
Oh.
A lot of drones have fell for Armani, who was just having to hold a little bit more to what his opponent was doing. Oh my god, what the heck happened over there? I'm glad we're back, but yeah.
Okay, so Dream just managed to get more and more Marines, and the Zerglings and the Queen wouldn't quite make it for Armani.
Yeah.
Let's get on the 5th map of this
Yeah,
series.
let's wait a second, because right now, for some reasons, I can't find the stream on Africa. I don't know if it started. Okay, yeah, okay, we're back. We're back. It's official, we're back. Oh gosh, there was... According to Streamlabs, it was a sudden and unexpected crash that occurred, but it's something that never happened to me. It's the first time I get this error. There must be something wrong with the servers today, and I have no idea what it was. I'm so sorry for what has happened. Yeah, Dream won. It is 3-1 for Dream. The last few seconds, it was just Dream doubling it up with Marines and killing the Queen and just overwhelming the remaining links so that Armani could not hold anymore, and everything went alright for him. I'm super sorry about what happened right here. No, Dream won, not Armani. It is 3-1 in a Theurogene. This is match point.
There's so much fake news in this chat.
Really?
저기가 졌습니다.
I'm incredibly sorry about what happened. It's something I had no control upon. It's not on my internet. It's not something that I could do anything about. It was just a sudden crash that is on the server side. So I don't think it's even on Africa. It's just on the server side, and yeah, that is that. As you've been seeing today, my connection is working just fine. We're streaming from Italy to the Korean server, and I have just this ping which is very low, so which is 300. And again, I'm super sorry.
Let's get into this match point for Dream. He
Pillars
can
of
take it
Gold.
all right now if he manages to defeat Armani on Pillars of Gold.
So, match point on one of the most Zerg imbalanced map of the pool.
Oh man.
We will see.
Let's see.
Spawning in the bottom left hand corner as the blue Zerg. He needs to win them all, or his opponent will be the winner of the tournament. You're looking at the base of Armani.
And spawning in the top right corner, the red Terran player looking to take it all in this match. It is Dream.
I'm expecting a fine game over here. Pillars of Gold. First time we see a ZVT here. And if there is one map in which you do not want your bases to be exposed as the Terran, is this one, because every single base is so approachable. But we will see how Armani will try to get this game, and now Dream will try to do so as well.
Dream so far playing standard, which is something good for Armani, because Armani does not look confident in playing against two Rexes right now. And that is definitely something he should be working on, especially if he's going to face off against players like TY, players like Cure, Innovation, you name them.
Yeah.
They can pull out this strategy and they can execute it so well as well.
And just the threat of it existing, of this build existing, is already enough to just pull you out of your tracks too much. And Armani just... I felt like he had it, but then he just crumbled. It was,
Yeah, like Dream did a very good job in killing that spine crawler right away,
yeah, that is
and
true.
then just keeping his marines alive. And those marines were able to kill Zerglings right when they tried to hatch at the natural. And in the end, like if you don't get your Zerglings out without them being killed, you will just lose.
Totally agree. It's yeah, those kind of early game builds are very close in the outcome. That these tiny little details can work so far for it being a victory or a loss.
Well, back to this game though, I really like what Dream is doing. He did go for very quick 3rd CC and delayed his starport for it, just a tiny bit, but delaying that starport won't really hurt you that much.
Wait, but
Especially-
he has a 3rd CC? He does not?
He does not?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I thought he had one. Then I'd mistaken the 2nd CC for a 3rd
Yeah,
one.
he did the usual double gas factory early thing, right?
I was like, okay, he has a 3rd CC, I know this build.
You see 250 in the timer, you see a CC and you think, oh, it's a 3rd CC early, and it's not. It's just Dream playing his weird opener. And by the way, it got
Well-
even weirder with a fusion core being added. Oh gosh. Oops.
So he is opting to go for mech this game once again. I like.
Yeah, I do like it as well. Let's see if it is for the same reason. Why is the reason behind the fact that you like it?
Okay, so mech is pretty good in defending those zones that are important on Pillars of Gold. If you manage to secure 4 bases, you are pretty much unbreakable.
Yeah, that's
Other
exactly
than-
what I was thinking. He's playing the map correctly. Armani, of course, great scouting. Armani is great at scouting everything. He's just a great player at getting information. But, of course, I cannot do but like this choice. It gives you mobility on a very big map. It gives you a chance to exploit the fact that this very heavily Zerg favorite map doesn't really get that advantage because your air units do not care about choke points and open areas.
And
They
high
just
ground.
they just care about distances, and the distance between the free bases on Pillars of Gold is huge. Main and 3rd air distance is pretty damn big.
Okay, so Armani is doing the same thing as he did on Death Aura. He did get the Roach Warren, a couple of roaches, 8 of them, I
Yeah.
think, are out. And with those 8 roaches, he will try to defend Hellions and also put on a little bit of pressure onto Dream if Dream decides to go too big with his battle cruiser. But right now he gets a kill on a queen for free.
Yeah, Queen's very much out of position. Too scared about the aliens that didn't come in the end, and this Battlecruiser got a free queen kill. He almost got a drone. He will get this overload. By the way,
Meanwhile-
Armani is hitting the front with the roaches, keeping the aliens home, which is always good, and forcing the Battlecruiser to go back. And Armani knows this. By just having a lair, adding up more drones, adding up more overloads, he can now make a spire, and that is basically all he needs. He breaks through, he gets one supply depot, he gets even more aliens, and now the links are in the mineral line of Dream. They're
Oh,
getting
they get
into
into
the
the main base.
main! That is crazy!
That should not happen at any circumstance. This
Not
should
at
not
all.
happen. And those roaches are still putting on pressure. They are getting SCV kills now. The Hellions will try to defend all the Zerglings that are in the main, and the 2nd battle cruiser might take care of the roaches. But this is so much damage already.
And now with the spire done, Armani knows basically Dream is on a ticking right now. Like Dream needs to do something real fast. Getting to queens, of course, a very good thing. A 3rd one will fall as well. A 4th one will actually fall. Well, maybe all of them would fall at this stage. That's a lot of damage. Like, our Dream did what he needed to be done. He's getting a lot of damage in answer to this. The Spire is done just in a second. And we will see a lot of Corruptors. The money banking up a lot of resources and a lot of resupply. He's gonna be making a ton of Corruptors to fight against the Battlecruisers. First Battlecruiser will fall actually. He's getting a lot of damage as well. I feel like Dream has beaten back. But what is the transition that helps you survive to the Armani push next?
So Armani is putting a lot of lava into drones behind all of this, so his roach count will be super low. We won't be seeing a similar push like he did on Death Aura.
2BC gone down, by the way. That's
losing those 2 battle cruisers. That must hurt. That must hurt really bad. Now the Hellions are coming in for a run by once again. Roaches are in position already and will deflect it pretty easily. The Corruptors are now moving across the map. There is a battle cruiser,
which will tactical jump away. If this battle cruiser fell, by the way, well, oh my god, will it fall?
No,
no, it won't.
SPV repair should take care of that. I'm not sure if that was a good idea by Armani to just commit onto it.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. Killing that battle cruiser, by the way, would have proven basically the game to be over. But yeah, Dream did a good job at saving it, and Armani probably overcommitted to it. Now Infestation Pit, basically where I wanted to see it. He's getting the upgrades. He's gonna get to a late game army as quick as possible, and yeah, Armani is looking strong. Dream has a worker's advantage, right? Okay, he doesn't have it anymore, but has been having a worker's advantage for a minute or so. So Armani wasn't really focusing on economy as much as he was focusing on tech. Okay, Nidus. Is this Momos?
Almost. Most likely, right?
Yeah, I think it is. He's banking a lot of resources again.
Oh, like at the third base of Dream, there's those rocks that are blocking the choke. I think you're going to Nidus behind that one.
Yeah, that's a good call as any. A couple of overloads are going to fall, proving to be a pretty significant supply block. But with 11 Swarmos on the way, critical number has been reached. A swarm of Locusts lying down in this third may prove catastrophic.
Oh, he's going for the natural.
He's the natural, which is also very exposed. There's not much army to kill there. Meanwhile, the Battlecruiser in the main will get a lot of damage and will actually scout the Swarmos. A little bit on the late side. Those Swarmos will still get a pretty powerful round of Locust. Cyclone gets on top of the Nidus Swarm just a tiny bit too late. And you were right about calling it next to the third, but this spot was even better than the one we were thinking about probably.
Yeah, at this point, at this position, you are able to not only hit the third base, but the main base as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we are going to see out of Armani. The first Locust wave is going into the main, trying to cancel what can be cancelled.
He will get a delay. That is not the worst thing possible. These Corruptors can really fight these Battlecruisers with the upgrades they're taking. Oh my god, that was close. But in the end, Armani needs to get damage. Why is he taking a second Infestation Pit? Did he lost his Infestation Pit?
Is he trying?
No, he didn't.
Did he lose it?
No, he didn't lose it. Unless he wants Microbial Shroud. No, he didn't lose it. I'm sure. It's over here, in the third base.
Ah, okay. Then I guess for double upgrades, whatever upgrade you can get.
He probably forgot. You can get Microbial Shroud. No, you can even get Microbial Shroud right now. It's not even an upgrade that you can take right now. You can get Fungal.
Oh,
what is it called?
Those
Neuro. Yeah, Neuro. The fight is going heavily in favor of Armani right here. These Battlecruisers are just taking a lot of damage. Of course, losing a bunch of Ravagers may look like something wrong for Armani, but he just has a very easy time replacing his losses. His army supply is very expendable. That's the nature of this style. This actually will go down, which is a lot of damage. But in the end, Armani is just maxed out again.
Armani has Nidus Swarms everywhere, it seems like. He can just hit from any location. I'd like to see him have a Nidus Swarm at the fourth base as well.
Yeah, and I like that as soon as Dream committed to one Nidus Worm, all of the army of Armani is going there except for those Wormos, which are actually eating on the other side. That's a incredibly good blindside maneuver by the Zerg player, who's gonna get so much value out of these. Logos are gonna get on top of tanks, but the Planetary Fortress is gonna deny some of the value I was talking about. So in the end, Armani got very much little, and I was mistaken on my call.
So Armani is just trading armies for armies, like armies for damage, I guess. And he's not really getting out too much in return. Like, the only thing he's killing is Hellions, and on a 4-base economy, as a mech player, you are fine in losing some Hellions.
The bank of Armani disappeared as well, and now Dream is hitting with 3 battlecruiser at a time. Yeah, this is a scary terrain to play. This is a very scary terrain to play.
Oh, Armani, you need to cancel that hatchery.
He did.
He does in the end.
This poor Corruptor won't leave far. No. Am I lagging again? No. Okay. And yeah, more Yamato cannons on top of the Corruptors, and now those battlecruisers can actually fight the Corruptors and end the air disadvantage once and for all. These corrosive vials still eating like a truck, but both battlecruisers will survive. Logos trying to get the planetary over here, and they won't get it. Here in the main, bold choice by Armani to get a Nidus over here, but I feel like he will probably never go up. Cyclone's in position. Yeah, and Armani is struggling.
Nothing is really going in Armani's favor right now. He's losing all his spotting units. He has 2 Nidus Swarms out, but he can't get up that 5th base. He has been trying so hard already. All his air army has been killed, and the army of Dream is pushing into this 4th location.
Ivy is just now on the way, but Armani had a huge bank, and right now is suddenly 40 supply behind, and is his opponent the one to have a bank. All of his army is clashing with his Cyclones, and he is struggling to shoot them away. The Spancaller in the end did a lot of work, but 24 workers have fell for this. As much as I would like to see Armani make a comeback in this series, it looks like Dream is in full control. 5 battlecruisers, and just look at the upgrades of this Terran army. +2/+2 with +3/+3. Soon to kick in 2 more command centers on the making for the Terran player, while Armani struggling to do anything with his gas. His Wormos did not find the damage, the consistent damage he was looking for, and his Corruptors are all dead right now. Dream eats the 5th base of Armani, which goes down again, and the 3rd player very much struggling in any kind of foothold in this game.
While Armani wasn't able to secure a 5th base, Dream was doing so well in always slowly but surely expanding his reach, getting damage done with those battle cruisers, and those battle cruisers will definitely take this game for him.
Infestors being Yamato Cannon down as soon as they cast a Neuro Parasite. So those Infestors did not do anything. GG gets called, and we have the champion of Alpha X Ultimate Showdown is going to be Dream, the Terran player, often shadowed by so many great Korean Terrans, but still, here he is. Beating pretty much everyone was there to beat him. He has beaten Zest, he has beaten Zaun, he's got into the finals against Armani, and got a 4-1 victory, incredibly convincingly, getting these finals.
Man, he just played his heart out. He did this so well. Imagine getting behind by 9 workers
Yeah.
because roaches get into your base and a bunch of lings do as well. And then you still manage to turn it around by going for a risky play, bringing both of those battle cruisers across the map, but doing the damage you needed to do. Like he killed 4-5 queens with those 2 battle cruisers,
Yeah.
together with 6 to 11 drones. I don't quite remember the count, but that was so good and so well played by Dream.
Yeah, it was like he was trading bite after bite. He was just getting into the face of his opponent after suffering so many severe losses, and just his straight determination to get this game. And I also have to say that this game was tactically perfect by Dream. I feel like, aside from the whack-a-mole, getting all nightuses before they could do any damage, I feel like his decisions in the game were absolutely perfect. I don't feel like there was any decision in this game that didn't work in his favor. Maybe his mechanics weren't strong enough when those roaches got inside his base, but aside from that, can you really blame Dream for any other mistake in this game? I think you cannot.
No, and even those roaches getting into his base, I feel like it was just a really good call by Armani, because he saw Dream's style of playing mech in the match he played on Death Aura, and Dream likes to go for really, really Hellion heavy styles. He adds those tanks only very late because he commits so hard into battle cruisers. He gets Yamato cannon, 2 to 3 battle cruisers. There is not that much money for an additional factory, and therefore you're just left with those Hellions, and roaches just do so well against those.
Yeah. Well, this last game was just the cherry on the cake of a wonderful series. Dream played a wonderful tournament. Let's not forget, the series before this one was the semifinals against Zest, and he won 3-1 against arguably the best Protoss player up there right now in this current state of the game. I really struggle to find a better one than him right now. And yeah, so congratulations to Dream. Of course, this has been all for this tournament and for this stream. Thank you everybody for sticking in. Thank you also for giving our tiny, but not so tiny, technical difficulties. Thanks, of course, to the players for showing such incredible, amazing, great games, and all the organization of Alpha X behind those tournaments. And last but not least, my friend and co-caster here, Black One. If you want to say something, please do so.
I want to thank all the viewers who make this possible, all the people who go to Matcherino and support the tournaments. 한국말로도 정말 감사합니다. 여러분이 와서 우리는 좋은 방송을 하고 이런 정말 흥미로운 게임을 보여줄 수 있습니다. 그래서 감사합니다.
Well, you heard it here first. Thank you very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you back with the next streams of Alpha X. Stay tuned. We have tons of great stuff going on for us. Until next time, thank you again, and congratulations to Dream for